It has been another interesting day in regards to 49ers injuries, and it's wild. It's absolutely wild. So let's talk about it. Let's stop whatever. Let's get into it. All right. Brock Purdy. He will be limited today. Now, when asked if he will be throwing like he regularly does, Kyle Shanahan was non-committal on that, basically saying we haven't decided that yet. So they haven't determined if Brock Purdy will actually be throwing today. However, he will be a limited participant. And just to keep in mind, that first practice where I think it was last week. Yeah, I think it was last week. All the weeks are starting to blend together. He was practicing in a limited fashion, but he wasn't throwing. Remember, he was going through the motions. He was doing the individual drills, but wasn't actually throwing. So that could be the situation why he's limited and why they don't know if he's going to throw or not. So something to keep in mind. They did say he had a light throwing session on Monday where he didn't have any setbacks with that. So we'll have to continue to monitor this situation moving forward. So we'll continue to see what's going on with QB1. Regarding Trent Williams and Nick Bosa, neither of them practiced today. However, I think both are in two completely different spots right now. According to Matt Barrows, Trent Williams was seen scooting around the locker room with one of those like knee scooters where you like prop your knee up on it, and so you're not putting and you're just kind of scooting around, so you're not putting any weight actually on the ankle. So I mean, the fact that Trent is having a hard time just walking is not an ideal situation. So we'll have to see what's going on with him. I also saw that, obviously with Nick Bosa not practicing today, he did mention that he does feel a lot better than he did last week. He can do some things today, but again, just won't be practicing. It does sound like he is trending in a much better direction than where Trent Williams is. According to Nick Wagner, Bosa said, I feel a lot better. Still need to get better before I'm ready to go. So this week will be big, and I'll know a lot more in the next couple of days. So there you go. Oh boy, what an injury report we got going. Now we have some good news. This will be the first time that Dre Greenlaw practices officially of the 2024 season. So Dre returns today. Really cool scenario with that going down. Obviously, he hasn't played since the torn Achilles in the Super Bowl. And we, again, don't know if he will actually play in this game against the Bills, but his practice window was opened earlier this week, which means the 49ers have 21 days to decide whether or not they are going to actually elevate him from, actually, I think it's the PUP to the active roster. So we'll have to see what goes down with that. But some good news in that regard. Now, we have a long list of players who will not be practicing today. No Christian McCaffrey. We already talked about Bosa, Trent Williams. No Diamador Lenore. No Aaron Banks, who's in the concussion protocol. No Jordan Elliott. No Demetrius Flanagan Fowles. So, Diamador Lenore did have an MRI. I didn't see anything about the actual results of the MRI, so I'm going to take no news is good news actually in this scenario regarding Diamador. So we'll have to continue to see how that bears out. I may have missed it, I don't know, but I'm not seeing anything. If you did see something, let me know in the comments below. We already talked about this with Trent kind of being on the knee scooter. And this was the biggest thing from today, believe it or not. Fred Warner has been playing with a fractured ankle since week 4 against the Patriots. That is remarkable. And not only is that remarkable, but how Fred Warner has been able to play, he has to get pain injections before every single game. And because he continues to play on it, he mentioned that it can't heal. A fracture, you need to get off it. You need to give it time to mend. And because he continues to go out there and play, it can't heal. So I can't even. That's crazy, especially for a linebacker who's in the middle of it all, getting stepped on, getting people landing on your feet all the time, like obviously having to run. Like it's honestly crazy. And, I think it points to probably why he isn't having, the same caliber of season that he had through the first 4 weeks. Um, and it's just, again, a testament to his leadership. It's a testament to his toughness, and it's a testament to what this means to him. And again, it's easy for us on the outside looking in to be super critical of these players and super critical of their play. And sometimes we just really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We think we know, but at the end of the day, we have no idea. And similar situation I think occurred with Charvarius Ward earlier this year. So it's just like that's always, and this is just more of a personal tangent. I'll be critical of players. I will tell you when I don't think a player is playing well, but I'm not going to jump down their throats because there's so many variables that go into why they could be struggling. Could be mental, could be physical, could be something off the field that we aren't even aware of that is contributing to how they're playing. They could be playing with multiple injuries. We just don't know. But it doesn't mean we can't call out that a player is not playing well, isn't playing to the standard that they should be playing with. But at the end of the day, there's a difference between being, I think, giving a critique or being, critical in a sense versus criticism. Um, and I think that's where I lean on as someone who played, and like I know like how challenging it is to play football. I don't know how challenging it is to play in the NFL. I couldn't even fathom um, the all the different variables that come along with that. So for me, that's just a personal tangent because I know I do get a lot of feedback from people saying like, "Well, why don't you calling out these guys? Why aren't you like we'll call out bad play?" But again, this is a perfect example of we just don't know what these guys are going through. We don't know what they're playing through on and off the field. So we can talk about them not playing well, but not going to take any shots at these guys because what they do is extremely challenging. It's extremely difficult. It's extremely taxing on them physically and mentally. And again, I always talk about it. I always cover this sport as human first. I always treat these guys like humans because they are. And you have to evaluate that way as well. These aren't Madden players. These aren't guys that are interchangeable and you just do whatever. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. But again, it's just, I've seen a lot of criticism towards Fred recently. And it's just like, okay, well, now how do you feel? Like, right, that you're criticizing a guy who's been putting his literal body on the line by going out here and playing with a fractured ankle and having to get injections before every game. Just unbelievable. Uh, absolutely unbelievable. So I don't know. Again, it's a crazy situation around the San Francisco 49ers with the injuries, and it just kind of keeps getting crazier. But you guys let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. As always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.